Hi, I'm Joyce.
I'm
This is
Lisa.
Lisa.
And I'm Lana.
They're the two sassy ones. I'm the classy one. And we have aprons to prove it. We have these for sale. Classy with a double dose of sassy. And we have not only these, but we have tote bags, and we have a T-shirt with a V-neck, which to me is a big deal. I have a V-neck, and they're available online, which you'll see the link to when we're done. You can see the link to this. Today we're doing something called fat burning soup because it's January. It's the time of year when everybody overindulged all of the December, and they're all going to go on a diet, and they're all going to be beautiful by February because that's the way it works, right?
Right, definitely.
And you notice we all have black on, just to give you an idea.
So everybody's on a diet all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah. And this is called a fat burning soup, and the reason it's called that is because it's basically all vegetables and beef broth, and so there's really nothing in there that's fattening, and it makes a great big pot full. My kids are trying to tell me how to talk. It makes a great big pot full, and you can eat on it all week long. And if you did eat on it all week long, you probably would lose a couple pounds because there's nothing in here to hurt you. So Lisa's going to show you what.
I'm going to show you how to chop the vegetables in a food processor because my mom got my daughter a food processor for Christmas, and they both love to cook, she and her husband, but they were afraid to use the food processor, so we thought we'd show people how to use the food processor.
We realized that not a lot of people know how to use a food processor. People got them for Christmas and we're calling Mom to see how to use it.
How to use it, yeah.
We've been using these since
For
the
years.
70s.
Yeah.
And I just want to say something about them. The first food processor I had, I got in 1977 when the store opened. And I remember the day that it stopped on me because I'm kind of waiting for it. It was been like close to 30 years. It actually was 30 years. 2007, it quit. I didn't wait to go to Erie or somewhere to get one. I went down to, at that time we had Wonton, I went to the store immediately and bought a new one because I can't cook without a food processor. I mean, I could if I wanted to take 2 or 3 hours longer to get something done. But when you see how fast this chops up, you'll realize that the beauty of having one. It takes away a lot of time that we would otherwise be using chopping things without the food processor. So I'm going to kind of shut up if I can and leave it up to these two and see what they can do.
Okay, well, one of the first things we're going to put in the soup is onions, and I had a regular cooking onion. I quartered it.
Let's show the chopping
good
blade
idea.
here. This is the chopping blade, so these are things we're just going to chop.
Chop.
This has all kinds of blades, like you can, what is this called?
That's the shredding blade. This is the slicing blade, which we're going to use too, and I'll tell you about each. So first we're going to do the chopping blade, and I'm going to put an onion in, and I just quartered it, and also parsley. And we still have parsley because we put it in the garage and it's still here. So we're going to put it all right in like this, and we're going to chop it. And I'll show you how quick it does.
I don't like that. Oh, there we go.
You can pulse it or put it on. You can put it on, or you can keep pulsing it. Okay, so, and that just look at it, how finely chopped it is.
And how quick. And we almost overdid because, I mean, you don't even need to do it that much, you know?
No, right, I mean,
So we're putting that in the soup.
yep.
Okay, so next we're going to use the slicing blade. And I'll tell you, these blades are really, really sharp, so you want to be careful. What?
I was just going to say before you put it on,
There.
okay, but I just want to show you, when it comes, you'll see it like this. And all you do is put it in here like this and squeeze this.
There.
Did that click in?
Huh?
Did that click in?
Yeah.
Okay.
So then you just
Swirl
let it go
it till it
down.
stops. And I'm going to put the top on like this and take this out because we're going to put things we're going to slice in here. So I'm going to put a piece of cabbage in, and it's in this with a slicing blade, and I'll tell you about the shredder in a minute. You can do it that way, but we prefer this way. So, and see how fast? Let me take it off so you can see. And there's
Like
that.
that.
It's all shredded. We're going to put it right in the big pot. And the next thing we're going to do then is we're going to chop the carrots and the celery. And there's more cabbage, but I'll do that later. Now, one thing about when you want to slice something, I'll tell you what's really neat are the potatoes. We have 2 potatoes here. They're already washed. We didn't peel them. And if you want to do like potatoes Anna, potato chips, scalloped potatoes, fried potatoes. You have to see how fast this works. Gotta just take this off, put the potato in. I'm gonna turn it off. I just want you to see real quick. And I'm gonna put it on this plate so you can see it. And see, they're all perfectly even. And it's wonderful for fried potatoes. Put them on a cookie sheet with some garlic and butter and salt and pepper, and they're delicious.
They are delicious, right? And they're great as fried potatoes too. If you want to.
So you can put these on a like a cookie sheet or some kind of pan that goes into the oven and just cook them that way without adding any butter or oil or anything that would be fattening.
And they're delicious.
And they're good.
Yeah. You
So-
can even add a little bit of olive oil just to give it some flavor.
Now, I cut the carrots and celery all to the same size. That's the only part that's kind of a hassle with this, if you want it to come out sliced evenly. So I cut them all to about the same size, and I'm just putting them in here, and hopefully they'll all stay in. Okay. Almost have it here. There's one lying down, so you'll see how it slices. Okay.
Wait a minute. Okay, I don't think you have that.
I want you to see how that came out. So you can just get an idea of how
Perfect.
perfect. And I'm going to put them right in this big pot for the cabbage soup. And then the last thing is the carrots.
Well, not quite, because a couple of little condiments we're going to add when
Yeah,
this is all over.
Right, but for the chopped vegetables in the
yeah.
food processor. So I won't do as, whoops,
Wait,
what
something.
did I forget? Oh, the blade. And it does go on easy. You just let it spin. And it has to be hooked like that in order to
You'll
for it
hear
to
it
work.
click.
You
Once
have
it
to hear it.
clicks, it's
Like, if
good.
it doesn't click, it won't work, so.
And it's a safety feature.
Yeah. So
Alright.
if you're doing this and it's not clicking, you know something's in there. Wrong. Hello.
And here are the carrots.
Perfect.
Just gives you an idea. I'm going to pour them in the pot, and you can see all the vegetables in here.
Okay, then I'm gonna put the liquid stuff in and we're gonna add the last few condiments.
Okay, and the liquids is the beef broth, which we already have already here. Mom made that this morning.
I was gonna say, if you wanna make this hard, make your own beef broth, but why would you when you can buy it at the grocery store? And then this is whole tomatoes. And I was just reading something this morning about how good whole tomatoes, or any kind of tomato,
Canned.
basically, but canned more so than fresh, are good for you.
Mm-hmm.
And now we want to put in a little bit of garlic, and we're not measuring, and you don't have to measure either. And there's
Just gonna get a spoon out. And I'm just putting a big, because this kind of garlic isn't as strong as the garlic if you did it fresh. And then just a little bit of, let's see, what do we have here? Oregano.
And a little bit of basil.
Basil. And I'm going to put more basil. I don't like
gonna
oregano
say,
myself.
that sounds
I know, I don't like oregano, but you can put as much as you want in.
Right.
And then salt and pepper.
You can
You
put
can put
whatever you
anything
want.
you want in, and then we have salt and pepper out there, but that you want to salt it to taste, but try not to put a whole lot of salt
Right.
in, because we all know salt's not real good for us.
Plus, it's in the
another
beef broth.
Big thing is
Yeah.
for people that might not think they like it because there's no meat in it. If you wanted to fry hamburger or sausage or whatever, and just make a smaller pot with just some meat in it for people that want meat, and it is delicious with meat too. Okay.
So we expect everybody to lose 20 pounds by next month.
Including me.
I know we will, right?
Oh, definitely, yes.
Thank you very much. We do want to talk about the books, though. Since our last program, we have gotten the second book out, and it's called Cook's Corner Columns. And it's comprised of all the columns that I wrote in the early 80s when I used to do a column for the newspaper every week. And so all these recipes have not been tried because at that time I didn't have time to light the oven, let alone cook. So I can't guarantee that all of these recipes are good, but I can tell by looking at a recipe whether it's going to be good, and I think most of these are very good. So I want you to know it's out. It's available on Amazon.com. And then the original one was Two Sisters and Their Mom Reliving the Cook's Corner Days. Also available at Amazon.com.
And also you can order the food processor with the link below, and you can get any kind. We've always gotten Cuisinart because I think they're the best, but so
And you can
enjoy.
order the pans because we have a Calphalon stock pot here. Almost anything your heart desires can be found on Amazon. So don't be afraid to use it. Thank you very much for watching.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
At the end of this video, you'll see a link to Amazon, and we want you to be aware that anytime anybody buys anything as a result of this show, anything that we use, spatulas to food processors, we do get a small percentage of it, and it'll help us continue to grow, and that's the goal here, is to grow. And we would appreciate it if you would use that link for anything you might buy that was affiliated with this show. Thank you.